Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode of Digital Illustration. If you have been following me, you know I post every week all about digital painting in Photoshop. This week it's about painting a tree. With this fun lesson, you will be able to do any organic painting, any leafy bushy things with the default brushes in Photoshop. So let's begin. I'm in Photoshop right now, as you can see, with a document file open, and for basic start I would use this hard round pressure size brush, and I'm working on 1 by Wacom tablet, which comes with pretty easy in price and is effective in use. So you can buy that or you can use another one of your choice, and follow with me here. With the color, I'm selecting a nice green hue color. This will be used for painting the branch of the tree, the base branch, and start sketching for a rough idea. Once done with the complete sketch of the branch, make sure it is a closed shape. Now select the colorful bucket and just double click inside of that shape to fill it in. Once done with the painting of the base branch, I would change the brush to a chalk brush that is in the Photoshop only. Go downwards and it will be having it. Choose any of the size, as you can see, and make a new layer, of course, for making the branches and everything else in that particular layer. Before we paint anything in that layer, I am going to just lower the opacity of this branch layer so that it will be very easy for us to see. You can see I am just little by little painting the shape of our whole tree. What I'm doing with the brush is just dabbing and painting it over place to place so that the texture remains in place and our shape becomes bigger and bigger. You can also use the eraser tool time to time to just erase some of the edges and make it a new. I'm pretty happy with the shape that I'm having on the screen right now. Now just open the brush properties like this you can see, or you can go from Windows and click on that. You will have something like this. Select the shape dynamics, add it to pen pressure, and it will be very helpful to just paint the edges of your tree with it. If you have erased too much, just again paint over the place. For eraser also I have used the same brush, and for painting also. Now it's time to make a new layer again, and above the tree bushy layer. This time right click and create a clipping mask for it so that whatever we do in this layer remains inside that particular shape. So now change the color. This time I will use the brightness and change it all above to a very bright color, green. So just paint somewhere and somewhere to make different bushes, overlapping bushes or overlapping leaves effect. Now with the smudge tool from the toolbar, select and smudge it little by little. With the smudge tool, your processor, your computer may be taking some time, so just leave with it, do one stroke at a time and leave. This way you will be able to see and edit your all the things. If you have smudged it too much, you can again paint it over there, but I would recommend that don't do too much work and then pause. Do and pause. So for the next, once smudged with all these things like this, I would suggest that you could lower down the opacity of that particular layer so that it looks pretty nice, smudged and a little closer to the main hue. Now again make another layer. This time again make us with a smaller size, same brush but a smaller size, and with the same color I'm going to paint the other highlight set. Again with the same process, I'm just lowering the opacity a little down. Now it's time to make the third layer and repeat the process. You can also change the angle of the brush from the same brush properties. Here click and you can see the angle is changed. It's now vertical. So paint accordingly. Now we are pretty done with the inside thing. So to make some outside adjustments and things to make our tree a much more pop out, base layer of the tree bush and paint with a very tiny size brush. Mine is near about 10 pixels. Paint with that. Select with the eyedropper the near about color that is there in the tree and just paint. With this technique you can apply and paint your leaves, your bushes, trees, forest, any other things. So this is a very super easy and attractive way to paint these leafy figures. You can see whenever I zoom out, you can see how defined it is in the downwards. So repeating the same process on all over the sides. And in the center, for the center one, I am again picking another hue color from there and painting it like that. You can see it is much more better than before. So much predefined and textures I is having right now. So let's go to the base branch layer, increase the opacity all above, and with a soft round brush make a new layer, flip it inside that branch layer, and with a soft round brush and increase the color to the darkest color that I am having in the subject. With that I'm just painting around as a shadows would be there on that main branch, so painting accordingly. You can increase and decrease the size of the brush if you wish. And with the light green I'm painting on another side so that it's all about the lights. So we are pretty much done with the painting. Now it comes for some much effect that will be popping up your subject. For that, just beforehand I'm just duplicating it with Ctrl J and grouping it up with Ctrl G so that you can see both on side by side. In this, for that new group, I'm just right click and merge the group so that all thing is on one layer only. Now go to the lasso tool with a feather of 30 pixels. Just select here any random selection, hit Ctrl U for hue saturation panel and adjust the hue. If you go all above or all down, it would be very distorting form, so don't go too much, just go a little by a little so that you can see how difference it is making. You can also play with the saturation and brightness also if you need. By this effect I am just adjusting how the sun rays would be on a tree in a natural scenario. So just replicating that effect. For making shadow I have just decreased the lightness toward a dark tone and green towards a nice natural green. So you can see how our tree is getting a 3D kind of effect with the lighting and shadows in a pretty simple way. So isn't it easy and fun, guys, to paint your natural naturescapes or your portraits or something else, whatever you like with this process. If you like this process and love this tutorial, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and share with your friends who might be needing these right now. So with this, we'll meet in the next lesson.